Hey everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to PHLY Flyers presented by Bet365 and your local Ford store. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the evening. Joining me today, it is Mr. Flyperbole himself, Steve Jaco. Welcome to the Xfinity Studio, Steve.
Pleasure to be here as always, Bill. Another Flipe Around Friday, and I'm very happy to be in the element. I mean, how can you not be happy today? Our birds are 1-0, and because the Flyers are still. Do we even know when training camp's happening at this point? I have no idea.
I know rookie camp is like next week, and Friday and Saturday are the rookie games, and I guess we go from there. But we're seeing guys report and everything right now. It's exciting. There's some stuff going on. We have some fun things to talk about today.
We're on the verge, people.
We are so close to like no longer having it be F Around Friday, but it very much still is. We are still in the off season here, despite the time change. Before we get into today's topics, couple of things I gotta tell you about. First, something I'm real excited about. It is the Supporters Club. We are launching our Supporters Club here for all of our diehard YouTube members. We're launching the Supporters Club for people to support us directly here at PHLY. You sign up on our YouTube channel for $5 a month. You get a badge next to your name in the live chat and comments. The badges update over time, so the longer you've been a member, the cooler it gets. Basically, you get to say you were one of the first if you do it right now. It is a literal badge of honor. You're gonna get special emojis to be able to use throughout the shows in the chats based on some of our inside jokes and all that fun stuff. You start with 4 emojis and more unlock as more members join. So that's a great reason to join right there. All the show bits and everything will be represented. And if you join the Hall of Fame tier for $15 a month, you can unlock bonus content, including some behind the scenes stuff we're going to be doing, experimental content, and much more. Just think of it as a fun new way to support PHLY here. It's not a paywall. It's not going to be essential content. If you don't join, you're not missing out on the real important stuff, but you're going to get that little bit extra if you do sign up. If you're already one of the people who sends us the super chats, we know how generous you are with that. This is a great next step. Listen, you're already spending the money on super chats. This is $5 or $15 a month, and you're going to get something extra. So it's pretty cool. We appreciate all the people who support us and keep us going here. Here is another way for you to show us just a little bit of love. And speaking, showing just a little bit of love, Big Brothers, Big Sisters. It is Big Brothers, Big Sisters month here at PHLY. We are celebrating Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and you can help us celebrate by donating. Fork over the cash to help this great cause. It's a very simple idea. There's a little money sign next to the chat box. You're watching us on YouTube right now. You can see it. Hit donate, give them some money. We look good, you'll feel good, and we're all going to help something really cool. Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Why not? Why not donate?
Why not?
It's a couple of bucks.
Cause. Outstanding cause.
All right. That's all the pre-show stuff, Steve. Now, it is time for the big takeaway presented by Xfinity. I am so glad to have you here so we can get your take on this huge news yesterday. Big balls Danny Briere flipping J.R. Avon to Seattle for Tucker Robertson.
I know everybody involved in this, and I have passionate takes about every part of this deal. I can't believe that Robertson and Avon were both involved in this.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Man, these are just pivotal key players for the coming season for your Philadelphia Hockey Flyers.
I will say, it's nice to see just like things are happening.
Anything.
It's a signal summer vacay is over and the boys are back in town. And we saw a little bit of that today. The Flyers tweeted out, there's guys reporting to the training facility, all of that stuff. So they're showing up, working out, getting on the ice a little. Saw Matvei, saw Brink in the weight room, some guys just showing up to work. It was just good to see that hockey is finally here. But this is, so that's the real big deal presented by Xfinity because the hockey is booming, or at least
it's close to booming.
At least it's about to be.
It's
Steve.
like you get the fuse, right? The Mission Impossible fuse, and it's almost there. Not quite, but almost. The anticipation is building. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's we got a mailbag question earlier in the week that was, what's your favorite like hockey is back thing that like signifies, all right, season is here. And the guy Kelly had some really good ones. Just seeing like there's this pizza place I think she goes to that puts a huge Flyers flag out front every year. And I just love, like we talked about rookie camp and everything. I love the rookie games. I love going to the rookie games. We're actually going to be coming to you live from the Saturday rookie game. So that's going to be pretty cool. We're going to be there in Allentown, going to have a lot of great guests and everything. That's next Saturday, is that the 13th or the 12th? Something like that.
Yeah,
but like that's the thing I really like, just because it's like this is it. Now it's real. Like training camp starts, then preseason, and then 82 games, baby, and hopefully a few more.
Friday is the 12th, Saturday is the 13th.
Saturday the 13th is when we're going to be in Allentown. Yes.
Not an ominous day.
No,
thankfully.
Not
Saturday
Friday the 13th.
There's no famous movie associated with such a date. The rookie game last year, I think, was the single most excited like series of rookie games I've ever seen. Just seeing your first glimpse at Matvei Michkov, seeing your first glimpses of Jett Luchanko. That's where we first started to really say, like, oh, there might be something to this guy right here. But that first glimpse of Michkov, and you're like, oh my God, he has it. He's like the guy.
Obviously, like, and Michkov shown throughout the game and plays in the NHL, and he's really freaking good already. But early in that rookie game last year, the first one, because it was the first night when Michkov and Luch played, it was for a little bit, it was like, ooh, Luchanko, he's kind of looks just as good as this other guy. Like it's exciting. And you get that first look. This year's going to be different, but we're going to get looks at other guys, even though it won't be, Michkov mania running wild down there. Cause it was hyped. Like the PPL Center, I have never been to, like, especially an exhibition like that where people were so excited, but it was our first glimmer of hope, like, okay, the savior, he's here, he's on the ice, we see him. And now we're going to get a look at a few other guys this year. And that's my favorite thing.
Oh,
what do you look forward to this time of year as hockey is close?
I mean, I look forward to hoodie weather because as a larger gentleman, I sweat quite a bit. Yeah. So the fall is my favorite time.
Why is it? I guess the rumors of summer's demise were over exaggerated.
It's like a little toasty today.
It's like 90 degrees outside today.
Yeah, well, we had the freak thunderstorms, lightning storms that just completely ruined everybody's sleep schedule for the Eagles game last night.
So I was at the banner unveiling in 2018, and I know there was like a take shelter warning for a lightning storm that time. Was that on TV? I don't remember if it actually interrupted the game, if it was before. I may have had a few drinks. Don't really remember exactly how it went.
I've had a few drinks over the years since then, so I also don't recall.
But I just was thinking last night, I think I tweeted this out, like, I've seen 3 championships in my life. The Phillies got rain delayed before winning theirs.
Oh, yeah.
And both Eagles banner unveilings were interrupted by weather. God, man, he's really up to something with us.
God hates Philly fans. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? But we defy anyway, and we've won a couple of championships in our time. But yeah, I mean, like, I think once I see the boys out there on the ice, when I see that orange and black out there, that's when I really start to feel it, when I actually see them out there, even if it's just the rookie game. Like, the experience of seeing them out there is when I start to feel, oh yeah, it's hockey season again. Very cool. I have something to talk about on the podcast again.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is I don't have to fish for topics. Like, when we're gonna get into it a little later. Thank you, Jalen Carter, for doing something really weird and stupid last night, because that's gonna be our main topic: the weirdest and stupidest things we've seen.
And don't worry, folks, it is not just all gonna be birds, because we are gonna tie this very thoroughly into hockey. Because I think a few people in the BSH Slack were talking about this, and I think a lot of hockey fans had this association, but we'll talk about this.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Another thing that has happened, I guess this was yesterday, and it might be a big deal. It might be signaling some sort of big deal. It's that Jett Luchanko is not the captain of the Guelph Storm anymore. In January, Luchanko was named the captain of his OHL team, and we all kind of thought at the time, like, oh, so they're not going to trade him, and I guess maybe they're kind of banking on him coming back next year, because it would be like, it's halfway through the season and you've named the captain. Like, you're just going to have a captain for a few weeks. You're a last place team. Like, what's the point of this?
The Flyers have kind of done that before. They've just had captains for a cup of coffee.
Well, that's yeah.
But they don't do that much now.
No.
It took them forever to name Sean Couturier the captain.
They name a guy and stick with him forever now. But
sure.
Now
they've never torn a C off of a guy's jersey on national television before. Never once.
But now Guelph named a new captain after just a few months as captain. It's no longer Jett. It is Charlie Paquette.
We all know him. We love him.
The Stars drafted him in the 7th round this year, so it's no longer Luchanko. He led them in scoring last year. Luchanko would have. His points per game were better, but he only played like 46 games. Could this mean, like, when you saw this, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, they think he's making the team. I do think there's a possibility it's like, we are trading this guy. Because you look at Guelph, they won 22 games last year, second fewest in the OHL. Only Peterborough won fewer games and put up fewer standings points. They were 19th out of 20 in the league. Like, that's not very good. Perhaps their first round pick, guy who might not even be there the whole year, whatever, they're gonna go through a little rebuild of their own. Maybe they're trading him. Like my mind started to think about that. What did you think initially when you saw Luchanko?
Yeah, I didn't know what to think because we also had a false alarm at some point in the past week
Yes.
where we thought the NHL moved up that CBA rule where then Luchanko could play for the Phantoms this year, which I hate it so much. I just want him to play for the Phantoms. He clearly needs to play with the Phantoms. We'd all be happier. But I was like, I didn't really know what to think at first. And I think trade makes the most sense, but I want to see what he can do in camp because there's a few storylines that we're watching in camp. This is a really exciting camp this year. And I think Jett Luchanko is one of the top ones because he could, I don't know if I want him in if he's just at fourth line center, but I don't necessarily want him back with that team. So
Yeah.
I think a trade within that league is, I think, a pretty good scenario for him. I want him to up his competition level, like much like our buddy Marchand is doing this year.
Yeah.
He's upping his competition level by going to the NCAA. He's going to the next level and testing where he can go. Jett, we all like his hockey sense. We love his speed. Speed's outstanding. Plays a really good two-way game. But the offense hasn't really generated yet. And that's where we need him to play with better guys to really, we want to gauge where he's at offensively. So if it is a trade, and I'm hoping that's the case, or I hope he just makes the Flyers and just plays with the Flyers. But
all this is just not going to matter if he just comes in and has a great camp. Yeah. And I'm okay with him playing on the fourth line, but it has to be a situation where you're the 4C and we're keeping you here all year, and we're going to find you penalty kill time, maybe power play 2 time, move you up in the lineup for matchup reasons, whatever. It's not just, oh yeah, you're going to play 8 minutes a night next to Hathaway and Delorier. Like, no, that's bad.
That's not good.
But if they can get him 13, 14 minutes, kind of like they did with Couturier when he was a rookie, I am all for that.
Especially because you're going to have injuries at some point. It's just going to happen. We saw how thin the Flyer center depth was all last year. And look, Sean Couturier, we love him, but he's not getting less fragile with age.
No, we did a whole thing yesterday. Like, if he can just be what he was and like maintain this level of health, because like a 33-year-old NHL player is just more susceptible, and he's already been through a couple major injuries now. Like, they're going to go through some guys. I would be surprised if he plays 79 games again, you know?
I'd be shocked. And, who knows what's going to happen with Cates? Who knows, throughout the lineup. So there's going to be opportunities for Luchanko to play second and third line if he makes the team. But that's a big if. He has to impress in camp. I mean, clearly he impressed last year enough to get that cup of coffee at the beginning of the season. John Tortorella really liked him in the lineup, but they also realized the best thing for his game was to send him back to juniors and develop a little bit more because he's also really young. I think we keep forgetting about Jett Luchanko. He's super young. He's not even 20
Like,
yet.
he just turned 19 a couple weeks ago, I think. Maybe like 1 or 2 weeks ago.
Like, is his voice done cracking yet? I don't know.
Yeah, like
Mr. Tortorella.
When he signed his entry-level contract last year, I was like, did he need a co-signer? Like, he was not yet 18. He was 17 years old. I don't even know if that's legal. Like, I don't know if he's allowed to sign an employment contract.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
Like, I wanted to know if I was like, he's so young, and that's the other part of, we're talking about, like, is he gonna, okay, well, if he's not gonna drive offense at this age, at this level, and this was always going to be a project. We're worried about what he's gonna be at like 25, 26, and he's 11 and a half months away from turning 20. You know, like, there's still a lot of developmental runway here that I think it's like if he's not tearing up juniors, it's not a huge concern to me. Because it's going to be about how he develops now, like from here, what he becomes as an NHL player. If he scores 200 points in the OHL, I don't care.
I don't care. And that's the thing. Didn't Scott Lawton do that? Before Scott Lawton came up, Scott Lawton tore it up in juniors. And And Scott Lawton was Scott Lawton, a perfectly cromulent hockey player, but like nothing to write home
That's
about.
something Kelly and I talked about. I don't know if it was on the bonus show we did yesterday or the main show, like best case, worst case based on former like high draft picks. And when we talked about Luchanko, I said worst case is Lawton, that he really like becomes a scorer in the OHL and then realizes this isn't who I'm going to be in the NHL and has 3 more years of figuring out how to change his game before he becomes a regular.
Right.
Like that's one of my concerns. And I'd rather like him fit more into the role that he's going to be and like build towards it rather than, oh yeah, he went back to junior and he finally had like the, 1.75 points a game season. And all right, is that really who he's going to be though? Like but we'll see. I'm just looking forward to camp because, like you said, it's going to be an exciting one. Like, there's a lot of competition and possibilities for new fun stuff.
It's hockey. Guys are on the ice. Like, just seeing the skates makes me excited. Hearing the sound of the skates hitting the ice. Like, that's when it really hits for me, is when I see that stuff, when I start to see people in Flyers jerseys around and all that great stuff. I looked it up. Scott Lawton in 2013-14 had 87 points in 54 games for the Oshawa Generals. He would then go on to have his highest point total in the NHL be 43 points in 22-23. So
when he was like playing second line left wing because they didn't have anybody on the team.
But even then, like Scott Lawton was a very useful hockey player for a long time.
That's what I'm like. My thing with Luchanko is he might not be huge ceiling, but I do very much believe he has the high floor where he will be useful.
Right.
Like that speed and hockey sense and vision, those things will get him at least to pretty good player.
And that's one of the problems I have with a lot of the expectations that people set for these guys is you need 4 lines and 3 defensive pairings to make a championship hockey team, okay? Not every guy is going to be Connor McDavid out there. Not everybody is going to be Matvei Michkov. So you're going to need 4 centers or at least 3 really useful ones. Sometimes you can make the Stanley Cup final with only 2 defensive pairings, as the Flyers can tell you.
Yeah, they just didn't have a third pair. They're like, no.
So if he ends up being a third line center, I'm not going to be devastated at the end of the day because you need a third line center. You need a guy who can penalty kill. You need a guy who can keep pace on the ice with some of the faster players. The speed's the number one thing for me at the end of the day, and that speed's not going anywhere.
That could be a real matchup advantage for him where it's like, okay, he's a 2C, a 3C, like middle 6 center, but he's used in a way that is very, very valuable.
Yep.
Like you see it with Florida. Like, okay, is this guy a 1C? Like, all right, man, obviously they have a 1C, but like after that, they still slot in, and those guys are just as important as Barkov,
Takes
like
village, baby.
They are equally as important to their best player. So the ceiling thing and people being worried about like, well, he can't just play in the NHL because Guelph's no good. That, maybe it won't matter because if he gets traded in the OHL, he'll have some better teammates and maybe he'll show us a little bit.
If he doesn't make the NHL team, a trade in the OHL will be fantastic.
That's fine. All right. Before we get into some other stuff today, I got to tell you about our DieHard sale. Now, listen, I know Charlie has been off a little while. I don't know what the hell the man is up to, but he will be back on Tuesday because we're off Monday. And I told you, we're going to be working an extra day next week, the Saturday show. So we're off Monday. But when Charlie is back, we will get into everything he's written recently, his top 20 prospects with Alex Appleyard, and his conversations, his interviews with assistant general manager Brent Flair. We're going to get into all that. And this weekend is the perfect time for you to catch up on all this reading for next week. Become a diehard right now. Take advantage of the sale. This is ending very soon. $36 for the year is an introductory rate. You get all of the premium content, including all Charlie's great articles that we'll be covering next week.
I mean, what other Flyers content do you need besides Charlie's? Come on.
I don't know what else you would want. Yeah. You get access to the Discord. You get a discount on merch and events, and you get this awesome free Bird Gang t-shirt that we're giving away for this special rate. And not only do you get that shirt, we've got some new merch as well. You can find some of our new merch available on allphly.com, including that Bird Gang shirt. Lots of new stuff with Eagles season kicking off. As you see right there, that Go Birds Liberty Bell one is really cool. The Bird Gang, I think, is with the crazy back tattoo eagle. Like, that thing's pretty
I like
sweet.
it. I'm into
Yeah,
it.
like I like both of those a lot.
And I love that tarantula one. Lock down your Phil's
Yeah,
gear before the playoffs.
the
Come on.
tarantula shirt's really cool. So all of that available at allphly.com. Check out our new merch. All right, Julia. Now we will throw to the first commercial break. All right. I got to tell you about our friends at Xfinity, because last night I had the perfect viewing experience right in my living room. Why? Because I've got Xfinity. With Xfinity, it is the ultimate fan flex. You get all the action right in your home, plus the best picture and sound with the enhanced 4K. It is the ultimate sports destination. I can find all the best games and all my favorite teams all in one place. There's never any lagging, nothing. It's just perfect. It's honestly, it's next level. And you can do the quad box. That's right. You can get up to 4 games going at once, because why not? You're a big fan. Huge weekend of week 1 football coming up. You're going to want to be flipping between all these games. Watch them all at once with the quad box. It's pretty awesome. And on top of all that, I can get real-time notifications and live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every time. So next game day, make sure that big fan in your life isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box. And while we're here, come on, there we go. I got to tell you about our friends at Ford. I am a huge fan of all the Ford products. Today, we're talking about the F-Series, the legendary Ford F-Series, the best-selling truck in America for 48 straight years. Steve, the last time they weren't the best-selling truck, the Flyers were defending Stanley Cup champions.
Oh.
That's how long it's been. That's how long they have been on top of the truck game. And the F-150 blends work-ready toughness with modern-day tech and luxury. It's offered in 6 powertrain options, including a hybrid and a fully electric Lightning model. It's got best-in-class towing up to 14,000 pounds, depending on your configuration. It's made of a military-grade aluminum alloy in the body. It's tough, lightweight, and corrosion resistant. You want to take it down the shore, maybe you want to do some off-roading. That corrosion resistant really comes in handy. It's got the max recline seats, offers nearly 180 degrees of recline. Great for some naps on the job site. You get a little break, maybe catch a few Z's back there. You have the select drive models, mud, sand, snow, tow and haul, eco. So many different ways to take advantage of all the options Ford provides you. Plus, you get the Ford Blue Cruise hands-free highway driving system in available certain trims. For more information, visit your local Ford store. All right, we've done it, Steve. We have effectively gotten here so we can talk about the fun stuff today. First of all, that's in honor of Jalen Carter. We are doing the dumbest stuff, weirdest stuff you've ever seen in a hockey game, because it wasn't just that he spit on Dak Prescott. It's that the entire unraveling of the situation last night during the Eagles game, opening kickoff, Van Summerman's hurt. It looks like it was a pretty bad knee injury. I haven't heard any updates, but it didn't look good.
The fullback just down and hurt, which I think this spitting thing doesn't even happen if he doesn't get hurt.
No, there was Jalen Carter had too much time on his hands.
Too much time.
Idle hands, etc. So he goes over to Dallas's side of the ball, starts talking a bunch of crap. Dak comes over, I guess, to see what's going on, and his defense now is, I spit a lot, and he just happened to walk forward because he spits, and he didn't want to spit on his O-lineman.
He spit in the direction, like, there is very crystal clear video of this. He spits in the direction of the Eagles huddle. He knew what he was doing.
Regardless, Jalen Carter thinks he's being spit at, spits directly on Dak Prescott, and the Eagles' best defensive player, stud D-lineman, gets ejected before he plays a snap in the season opener. A wild, ridiculous night. And so in honor of that, I want to do some of the weirdest and dumbest things we've seen. But first, last night, man, that felt good. Like, talk about how excited we are for hockey to be coming back. Football coming back is like not the appetizer, but it's like, here we go. The fall is arriving. Yes.
Yeah. It makes you feel like, oh, there's a chill in the air now, except there isn't. But
I got all my
makes you
Halloween
subconsciously think there is. You do have your Halloween
It's 90
decorations up. You're insane. You're insane.
September 1st, baby.
But with the spitting thing, I just wanted to say, like, I didn't know that could get you ejected, number one. I think that's insane. That's ridiculous. I know you can't do that, but it should be a slap on the wrist. You shouldn't get kicked out of the game. So lame.
I
And this
guess
might
like I
be,
can see just like, yeah, we don't need this. Like if
Here's
you
the
do
thing.
that, you've made us look silly
I think I have been
as a league.
desensitized in two ways towards this. Okay. Number one is I live in the city of Philadelphia. All right. I live in South Philly. If you haven't been spit on in the city of Philadelphia, you don't actually live in the city of Philadelphia.
When I was I guess it was the year before I started playing for Clearview Ice Hockey. So I was in 5th grade and the varsity team was in the South Jersey Championship against Washington Township. Clearview and Washington Township, if you're unfamiliar with South Jersey high school hockey rivalries, those games were literal.
Tell me more.
They
Let
were
me subscribe
literal
to your newsletter.
Literal riots. Like the police would come, people would get arrested, people would be breaking car window. It was insane. Anyone who was around at that time can attest to I got
Pandemonium.
I was in 5th grade and got spit on by like a senior in high school. And it is the most degrading feeling. Like, I am just like, I am the ground. I am the ground to you. Like, it is horrible. So I guess I can see it. But beyond that, that was a fun game last night.
Oh, yeah. But number one, city. Number two, being a hockey fan, we saw weird stuff. We're going to get into this.
Yes.
But Brad Marchand licking was the first thing a lot of people thought of. And he didn't get kicked out of the game.
That was the very first thing when you and I were talking about this topic. I was like, we were like, this is it.
We got to talk about it.
This
That's
is the most
impetus for all the
ridiculous
weird
thing.
stuff. But going to the actual game itself, because we don't want to dwell on it too long. We know it's a hockey podcast, but it's just great to, number one, start the season with a win. Oh, and really, number one's beat Dallas, because we all hate Dallas. Dallas sucks. Beat your rivals right out of the gate. Start 1-0, first game of the season, and just get that banner raised. Oh, it just feels so good.
That was I always then put it back to the Flyers, like watching all that unfold last night. I can't wait for the day when they play the Penguins or the Devils or whoever is like also good and the big rival at the time. And it matters so much to me that they beat them. Like, I don't care what happens in this game. You are winning. You have to win this game. I feel this strongly about it. I don't care. Like, yeah, September's preseason. You just kind of got to survive September and get through it. No. Not when it's Dallas.
No.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that to be the Penguins again.
Oh,
like,
I can't
that
wait.
will feel so good to me.
Just got to beat them no matter what. Penguins, Rangers, just Devils especially. We
Yes.
talked about who we hate the most a few weeks back, and the Devils, just it always feels good to beat the New Jersey Devils.
And now they're owned by Josh Harris.
Oh,
Just
it feels extra good.
Yeah, I can't wait for those. I can't wait to see them in the playoffs.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, it felt good. Just a good way to start. I'm exhausted today because of that lightning delay, but
I think everyone's hurting a little today.
Especially,
Julia
I
was
can't
here till
imagine
about
you.
4 a.m. this morning.
You were
Like,
doing the Lord's work. That is amazing.
It's everyone's a little, feeling it today. And that's the other part. A game like a primetime game, and there's a delay. It's going late. It's like the extra innings game where like both teams and it doesn't happen that much anymore, but like it goes 19 and both teams are screwed pitching wise tomorrow. So you better win today.
You better win today.
I feel like that's how everyone's feeling. Well, at least the Eagles won.
Yeah.
I'm tired at work. I'm hungover, but
When
you know
your
what?
team loses that extra
least
inning,
they
it's
won.
like, to put it in Flyers terms, if the Flyers had lost the 5 OT game against the Pittsburgh Penguins,
Yeah.
we all would have had just the most miserable next day. But I always remember that they did win that 5 OT game with the greatest Keith Primo goal, probably my favorite Flyers goal of all time. And I remember I was in high school because I'm an old head, and I went up to my locker and I was exhausted. And I was like, ugh. And I looked to the guy next to me, and he also looked exhausted, and we gave each other like a satisfied nod. And I was like, yeah, go Flyers.
All right, let's get to some of the dumbest stuff, some of the weirdest, funniest stuff we have ever.
Oh, let's make it dumb. That's what I'm
Yeah,
here for.
oh, that's the dumbest. I mean, yeah, it's Friday, man. Like around Friday, this is the perfect topic,
Flavor
and we
around
lead it
Friday.
off.
Let's go nuts.
I forgot the number one here. We're going to it right away. It's Brad Marchand licking his opponents. I completely forgot he did it twice in the same postseason.
Yeah.
He licked both in the first round. He licked Leo Komarov in the series against the Leafs, and in the second round,
Sorry, the visuals killing me.
and in the second
Great.
round, he licked Ryan Callahan.
That is so
What?
much grosser than spitting on somebody's jersey. That's
That
a
is-
million times grosser. Like, if that doesn't get you kicked out of a game, how does spitting on a guy's jersey do it?
This is like, I want to know what could possibly motivate you to lick somebody.
Oh, Brad Marchand has a few screws loose. Like something is missing in his brain that is a pivotal part. That's what makes him great at hockey and a great rat and a menace. But there is something wrong with that man.
But like at least spitting on someone is like disrespectful.
It's disrespectful, and also it's like a reaction to what was done to him in the first place. And
But,
it's
like-
a common thing to like spit in somebody's direction, you know. But to go up and go, well, I'm not going to do the visual because nobody is, you know, we're currently on TV. We don't need that there, but you know,
licking the face of a guy who has been sweating his ass off under a helmet playing an NHL playoff game. Like, that is gross for you. That is nowhere near as bad for the person you're doing it to than for the guy doing it. Like,
it's really
I
unpleasant.
don't know what he's trying to accomplish there.
It is as unpleasant as it gets all around. It's just the worst. And like the picture again was just so like, I forgot how gross it
The
looks.
one picture with the extreme close up is so freaking funny. It's so fun. And like, this happened in a nationally televised Stanley Cup playoff game.
Yeah.
It was the most ridiculous thing, and he did it twice.
He did it twice.
Twice in the same playoff.
Did it twice.
That
It's
might be
as disgusting as it gets.
in terms of like gross and weird. This might be number one. Like,
Yeah.
we're not going to beat it with any of this other stuff.
And again, like people were dragging Jalen Carter about this. They were like, he is a disgrace to the game. Marcus Hayes wrote a he should be suspended article by halftime. It was ridiculous. Hot take artist right there. But like, here's the thing. As a hockey fan, I didn't even blink because I've seen Brad Marchand do that.
Stuff happens all the time.
Yeah,
Brad Marchand just out here licking dudes.
I've seen rock bottom. All right. So this was nothing.
I like how like his teammates and like the league basically went to Marchand after this and were like, forget all the boarding stuff. Forget your slew foots. This is the thing you have to stop doing. Please stop licking people.
You can tear everybody's ACL you
Which
want.
is,
Don't
yeah,
lick
like-
anybody else.
yeah. You could ride, what was it, Timothy Lilurgan? How do you say his name? Lilurgan. Like,
There's no way to tell.
Yeah, like
Tim
rides him into the boards and like ends his season a couple of years ago. It's like, that's fine. Stop licking dudes.
Don't lick guys.
Please stop licking dudes.
Yeah.
Brad Marchand appears again on the wacky and wild list.
Wacky wild stuff.
Do you remember? I'm sure you do. I forgot about this.
I forget about a lot of things. I did not forget about
A few years ago in a shootout against the Philadelphia Flyers, he has a chance. He has to score to keep the game going. Flyers are up, I think, 1-0 in the shootout with this is the last round, and gets ahead of steam, comes from the blue line, as you can see in the first picture, goes to grab the puck to go in on this breakaway, taps it just a little bit so it counts, overskated it, and that's that. That was his shot attempt. Game ends.
Oh,
It is very funny that that's the rule. Like, as soon as you touch it and you move past it, like basically once you're not moving the puck forward anymore, that's your attempt.
no
And
mulligans.
you can just kind of skate over it and tap it the least amount. And that's it. That's the game.
I remember my reaction to this because I went, I was like, ha! Like I couldn't believe it. I think I got up and danced around my house. I'm like, I can't believe that happened.
Him being such a rat made it so much funnier.
Oh.
Like, that happens to anybody, and it's like, oh, that's a good blooper.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it happens to him, and you're so happy to be able to laugh in his face about it.
Right. To see it happen just like the worst guy you know did the funniest thing possible.
Yes.
It's just poetry.
That's I guess you laugh in his face, but you don't get too close for fear of being
No,
licked.
no.
But I feel like if we got like a Boston fan who, you know, watches every game the way we do the Flyers, they could come up with like 20 ridiculous Marchand moments.
Oh, for sure. And the guy we're about to talk about next has not quite maybe the list of Marchand, but a pretty good extensive list of ridiculousness.
So this was the second thing after the licking. I can't believe how many times we've said lick and spit today.
That's what I'm here for, baby.
We're on. Is the Fast Channel going to suspend us for this?
Not safe for work.
In context, this is not dirty. It just really seems like it.
I don't know why they keep inviting me back. This stuff only happens when I'm here. It's my fault.
I wish we could do the F Around Friday show about licking and spitting with Charlie.
Oh,
That would be.
oh,
would
the
like to
reaction
see-
would be.
I would like to see how long before he was like, "You and Steve are here. I'm leaving."
I'm out of here.
You know what? This show's taken care of. You're
Nope.
absolutely
I'm
fine.
done. I'm done. Not a chance. See you guys.
Yeah, but
Bye-bye
outside of Marchand, one of the more ridiculous guys of this past generation of hockey players was absolutely Scott Hartnell. Like, this whole we could probably come up with a ton. Like, he fell down so much it became a bit, and then the bit became a charity.
Yep.
That's how ridiculous Scott Hartnell is.
I still have that shirt. I still have the Hartnell down shirt.
An NHL All-Star who couldn't stay on his feet in the NHL. Really, really impressive. But
that's taking it back to real old Flyers Twitter right there. I believe it was Seth TH on Twitter back in the day who came up with the Hartnell down hashtag.
Hashtag Hartnell down.
And it became a huge thing.
It became like a bit that made its way to the NHL All-Star Game broadcast. Yeah. But
he fell down so much. Like, you would think he took professional clowning lessons because of like how he played the game. But it was awesome, because my favorite also is the Tim Panaccio tweet where he's like, Hartnell in net, puck not in net, whatever it was, something like that.
Scott Hartnell, the moment I wanted to put on this list, because I just remember it so well, is when he threw his glove to try to break up a breakaway. Ryan Malone coming in on a breakaway. You see Hartnell trailing, and you just see in the second, I wish we could show game footage, but YouTube would flag us and we'd like go out of business. So I'm not allowed to.
It's not worth it.
Kind of need this job.
Look it up on YouTube, folks.
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube there. One, I love all the old stuff with the Versus logo.
Oh,
none of this had the Outdoor Life Network logo.
Oh.
But the Versus is right there.
Outdoor Life Network. What a time to be a hockey fan watching your sport on Outdoor Life Network.
They went away on ESPN and came back on Outdoor Life Network, and the owners were like, but we got a cap.
Please like my sport. Please like my sport.
Things are going well. We got a salary cap.
You know, like, I was never more embarrassed, I think, to like this.
No, it was like Bassmasters right into Flyers Penguins rivalry night.
And on ESPN 8 the Ocho, hockey.
But Ryan Malone coming in on a breakaway. Hartnell, it's stupid for a bunch of reasons.
Oh, yeah.
One, the glove throw did nothing. No. It disrupted nothing. He just threw his glove and it didn't hit him. It didn't hit the puck. It didn't distract him. Two, Marty Biron made the save. And because Hartnell did something illegal, Malone got another crack at it and got a penalty shot. And the goalie had to make the save again. It was just such a stupid freaking thing to do. It served no purpose. It didn't distract him. It gave him a second chance at it after the goalie made the save. Scott Hartnell, a career of being ridiculous and like pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
But
like, I say clowning, but like I say it in a way that's like, I like an endearing way, because he made the game much more entertaining when he was out there. I've never related more to a hockey player than that glove moment, because that's dumb crap that I would do in like a street hockey game up at the old Houston playground in Roxborough. You know, I would throw the glove maybe just out of desperation because it'd be funny. I would do it for the gag. Hartnell also was involved in one of the funniest Flyers playoff moments of all time with the Penguins fan who was dressed up like Hulk Hogan.
And he was giving him the ear. Yeah.
It was outstanding.
We need more. I'm happy that there's guys like Trevor Zegras who are like bringing their personality to the ice, and like it's not as frowned upon to be like an individual. You know, guys kind of dress a little more unique now. They play their own styles. It's not all just like, you got to be everyone's a grinder. Like, but we need just more straight up entertainers like Brad Marchand and Scott Hartnell.
I'm hoping Matvei Michkov can do that.
He's got some entertainment in him. He's got a little bit of that in him.
He's got some pizzazz.
I am looking forward to seeing what he matures into, because he's got a little showmanship to him. He steps up for the moment.
I think we need more crazy fan groups too, though. Like, we need guys like the Malkamania guy. We need some people with very visible seats doing wild stuff out there. Like, I always think about the Phillies teams from the early 2000s, right? You have the
Wolfpack and Sal's Pals.
Sal's Pals.
Yeah.
My favorite, Padillas Flotillas.
Yes.
Because everybody knows what a flotilla is.
There was a short period of time of Howard Somers.
Howard Somers, they'd all dress up like Homer Simpson.
Wolfpack
Flash's friends, they all dressed up like superheroes.
Yes,
and
that was a good one.
On 100-degree days in the upper level of Citizens Bank Park, guys wearing a full Batman costume.
Wolfpack and Sal's Pals were absolutely the height of it. Those were the best.
I've been trying on my very little listened to podcast for years to come up with new fan groups, and nobody listens to me. I had the NAKGB. for Nicholas Abu-Kubel. I tried to start the Ristolainen for Rasmus Ristolainen, but nobody bought in. So we're gonna make one of these work one of these
I
days.
remember there was one guy who just brought I guess he wasn't a group. It was just one dude with a free Urbina sign.
Yeah.
And no one else.
Oh, Oogie.
Nobody else joined the group.
Machete.
Yeah, nobody else joined the group supporting the freedom of a attempted machete murderer.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah.
It was a great name. Ugath Urbina. Rolls off the tongue.
Urbina is a great name. Apparently not a great dude.
No.
But pretty good name.
W.
All right, we have a bunch more of these very stupid moments to get to. But before we do that, we have to hit that second commercial break. Got to tell you about our friends at Parx Casino, because whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx online casino app. You got to check out new casino games like Huff and More Puff and Fireblaze Sky Queen, which is a BetParx exclusive. It's the only app I ever use to play all my favorite casino games right in the palm of my hand. They've got blackjack, they've got roulette, they've got craps, poker, baccarat, and hot online slots like Cash Eruption, 88 Fortunes, and Cleopatra. You can play online slots based on your favorite streaming shows as well, like a Walking Dead and Peaky Blinders theme game. You've got all the classic casino games wherever you are, at home, on the go, taking a little break at work, maybe in the bathroom, whatever you got to do. Just make your day a little easier, make your day a little more fun. Give yourself a chance to win throughout the day. You got to check out the Parx Online Casino. And right now, new users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparx.com and download the app right now and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in PA, Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParx. You love to play, you play to win, you bet. BetParx, gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. While we're here, it's time to tell you about TrueMark. That's right, because it's back to school season. It's here. It's happening. Kids are back in school. My teacher buddies, suddenly they're not available at night anymore. But regardless, back to school is here. And even though I don't have kids heading back to class, it's still a great time to take advantage of seasonal deals like the office supplies, new clothes, tech upgrades, and everything in between. And this year, I'm planning ahead and using my TrueMark Financial Credit Union debit card that earns rewards. Every time I swipe my card and choose credit on purchases, whether it's a new planner, headphones, or just some much needed everyday essentials, I'm earning points. And those points, I can redeem them for cash, gift cards, travel, merch, and so much more. I've already got my eye on a gift card that'll come in handy for some fall shopping, maybe a little bit of early holiday shopping. It's a simple way to get rewarded for buying the things I already need. If you're already a TrueMark Financial Credit Union member, be sure to check out your debit card benefits before you hit the stores or start shopping online. And if you're not a member yet, now is the perfect time to join. Just stop by one of TrueMark Financial's 24 branches or visit TrueMark.com to open an account. TrueMark Financial Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. All right, this one, it led to Steve. There's a lot of Flyers ones on here because these are the ones I could remember. And honestly, a lot of ridiculous stuff happens with this team.
It's the Flyers.
For a team that's been basically irrelevant for like 15 years, a lot of ridiculous things happen to them.
We didn't even get when Steve Downey tried to kill a guy with his skate on. Like real life Happy Gilmore.
Was it Ronaldo who was at one point suspended in both leagues, the N and AHL?
I think so. I'm shocked we don't have any Ronaldo on here. No Steve Downey, no Dan Carcillo.
The Ronaldo moment I thought about was when he injured Chris Letang and got kicked out. Or no, he didn't get kicked out. The rest of the game, the Penguins spent chasing him around, and he's like, I changed the game. Post-game, he goes, I changed the game.
The game.
You just injured a guy who had a stroke last year.
Listen, he played the game hard. He was the only Flyer with heart. Ronaldo, that's it.
I loved Ronaldo. I loved Zach
Ronaldo. You are basically the entire audience for Zach Ronaldo right there.
Talk about an entertaining player.
I know, bro.
Every game, you knew he was going to do something stupid. That was entertaining as hell.
Dare to be stupid.
Radko Gudas has had a number of kind of ridiculous moments himself. This one, it lent itself. It became the give Radko a sword moment when he tripped Matthew Perreault in a scrum and then tried to decapitate him by swinging his stick down on him.
I think Malkin copied him because Malkin also tried to decapitate a guy with a stick sword at one point.
And I very much remember at the time trying to okay, I can see like they're tied up and Gudas kind of takes him down and he's at Gudas's feet. Like I can see maybe he's trying to catch himself. I just watched it today. He just swung his stick at the guy.
This is my
there
favorite.
was absolutely no like, well, maybe. No, his stick is up here and then he brings it down like this in a quick, decisive motion.
My single favorite thing about being a sports podcaster is trying to rationalize when your guy does something horrible.
It was just like, I can't imagine the thought process of like, oh, I'm going to get away with not even I'm going to do this and it's going to hurt him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'll probably get away with this. Like, you are not going to get away with this. Especially Radko Gudas.
I'm going to get away with this, all right.
Especially Gudas, who gets no benefit of the doubt.
No, he just hammered guys constantly.
And like, he's cleaned up his game a lot. He's still physical.
He's
still
a captain now.
Yeah, he's the captain of the Ducks.
It's like when your buddy from college that was just like the biggest train wreck, you might have even called him train wreck, is now a dad.
Yeah.
He's wearing polo shirts to parties on Saturdays. Like
that is
you're
Gudas. Like
wreck.
Gudas is the leader of that young team. And it's like, but this isn't the most, there's other ridiculous stuff he's done too. Like,
I would also like to have one note in here with Gudas also, because I was at the game where he got Superman punched by BX.
yeah, it was rough.
Man, but like, it's a pretty funny, weird thing to happen where he kind of jumps off his skate and punches him in the face, and he goes down in one hit. Gudas, who got in a number of fights. I remember, because I was at that game. I was in the upper level, and I was like, oh, all right, we're going to see a fight off the bat. We got cheap tickets. It was a very fun time. And then he went down. I was like, what happened? Did he fall? I thought he fell.
It's funny because it is a signature move of wrestler Roman Reigns. And my friends and I all hate it. We're like, it's so dumb. No one would ever do that in a fight. It doesn't hurt. Like, there's no way that actually hurts. And then it happens in a game and it knocks out a pretty tough guy. I was like,
punch.
I guess I have to rethink the efficacy of the Superman punch.
And on that day, Radko Gudas was the one punch man.
But for Radko Gudas and the give Radko a sword movement, he was suspended 10 games. A 10-game suspension.
That's worthy of a suspension, all right?
Gotta say,
that's the kind of thing that you get kicked out of a game, not spit.
He really earned that one. He really earned that one. 10-game suspension.
Well, 10 games, well worth it.
I wanted to put this one in there because I just saw an interview with like a little video online of Matvei Michkov talking about wanting to score his first hat trick, maybe in like his next game.
It is unbelievable that he had the rookie season he had and was one of the Flyers' leader in points. He was the leader in goals and did not score a hat trick. He came so close so many times.
He just had a bunch of 2-goal games and he had opportunities. And at the end of this season against Montreal, he had the best opportunity he was going to get. You see him right there in the low slot, puck on his stick, net empty, a Canadian trying to take away the net, but he has plenty of space to shoot. And one of the more precise shooters on the team rings it off the post.
Yeah.
Just doesn't net it.
Just doesn't net it. And it was unbelievable that he couldn't get it, but it was also at the prime part of the season, peak part of the season, where we wanted the Flyers to tank.
Yes.
And we were like, for the love of God, don't score this goal. Like, I love you and I want you to score a hat trick. I do not want you to score this goal. I do not want the Flyers to win these games. So it was very conflicting time.
It was legitimately like Kelly and I doing the post games for some of these was like, I want them to lose 4-2, 2 goals by Matvei Michkov.
Yeah.
Like that's, I want nobody else on the team to score. If you were going to score, you could have done it in the first 75 games. Like now is time to lose. And that, what was it? The Islanders, the last game of the season.
The Sabres.
The Sabres. Yes, the Sabres.
I just looked up the box score. The Sabres ended up winning that 5-4. And I was screaming at my television for the Flyers losing. I'm like, my dog got upset with me. Brucey was like, are you all right?
Kelly and I, because it was like back and forth a few times at the end, and like the Flyers they just kept putting themselves in position to screw themselves. And it was like, what are you doing? What are you doing to yourselves? And the Sabres eventually put it away, and Kelly and I celebrated this. That was our 9th season together doing Flyers podcasts. We haven't celebrated nearly as much as we celebrated that loss.
Yeah.
But the Michkov missed hat trick against Montreal.
And Michkov had 2 goals in that game.
Yes, he had 2. And
in the Buffalo game
he
too.
went on that streak of like scoring at the end where he just went nuts a little bit.
Oh yeah, because it was almost like he was let off the leash or something. Like there wasn't a crazy coach that was holding him back.
Let the guy who can score at will try to score at will.
Let him cook.
But
He's getting it this year.
I just assumed like the puck went in and we were like celebrating, and then all of a sudden plays like down at the other end, and we had no idea what was going on. I just figured he scored.
Yeah,
and. No, not to be. And that was probably the most ridiculous moment of this past season for the Flyers, I would say.
There were some ridiculous moments, but I think that took the cake.
I mean, just the goalies being the goalies. Like Ivan Fedotov, every time he moves left to right was one of those things.
Breakdancing.
Let's see here. All right. The Flyers Lightning stalemate.
Oh my God. Oh my God. One of the most boring things I've ever seen.
I think it was Guy Boucher was their coach at the time. And the Lightning adopted a philosophy of not forechecking. And to combat this, Peter Laviolette decided not to attack. So the Flyers were just hanging out in their zone, passing the puck between the defensemen. Eventually, they got called for delay of game. You have to eventually attempt to advance the puck in the NHL, a rule nobody knew except for the officials on the ice. And that's what we got, was just defensemen hanging out in the zone with no pressure, just being like, come and get us. And my question about that strategy was always like, what are we trying to accomplish? Is the goal for this game to end 0-0? Like, what were we actually trying to accomplish by not attacking?
I feel like it was a middle finger at the Lightning, if anything. Like, I really think...
But, like, you have to win the game.
Oh, I know. I don't know if the Flyers knew that, but I knew. Who was the Flyers coach for that one?
I think it was Lavi.
Well, okay. If anybody in Flyers' recent coaching history is going to give a middle finger to the other team in a fashion like that, it's either Tortorella, obviously, or Laviolette. Laviolette was a fiery coach for this team. The most notable when he almost got into an actual coaching fight on the bench during the Penguins series. So I think it was just a middle finger from him to the Tampa Bay Lightning for that lack of forechecking in their strategy. Like, it was a real like, all right, we're going to test this to the limits and just see where it goes. And they just hung back there in the zone. It was one of those things that was very funny, but also like, all right, come on, do something.
Yeah, it was like, okay, we're trying to show like that their strategy is ridiculous. And it like, yeah, you should forecheck. You should probably apply some pressure. Like, if you thought the trap was bad.
Yeah, if you thought the trap was bad, like, get a load of this.
We are going to hang at the red line and just wait for you. Not attacking, you can't score.
No.
You have to score to win.
No.
And they were just going to, like, if given the opportunity, were they going to play with the puck in their own end for 60 minutes?
They might have.
Like, what exactly was going to be the breaking point
I really think it was just a middle finger. And I think it just... Because was that one of those seasons also where it was like, the Flyers aren't going to do anything this season? Because there were quite a few of those in the past 15 years.
It was early in the Laviolette tenure because it was Chris Pronger, I think, was the one who got called for the penalty.
Yeah, I remember Pronger
early
was
on
up there.
So they must have been at least pretty good. But I was baffled by it then, and watching it again today, I was like, what were they going to accomplish by doing this? But they got called for a penalty, and they weren't allowed to do it anymore.
Yeah.
They came to a stalemate that I guess the Lightning won the staring contest.
Weird, wild stuff, right?
This one, I remember like it was yesterday.
Oh, this is one of my favorites.
John Leclair scores a goal against the greatest goalie of all time, Dominik Hasek, by just blasting it through the side of the net.
Side of the net. Fantastic.
Like one of those things you look at and go, could never happen today because of replay and stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently they did have the angle, but the league didn't have access to the ESPN camera in the net. And Hasek knew. He was like, I know this went through the side of the net because I know I had the post. And you can see the angle there. Like
Dominik Hasek is not Michael Leighton. He knows when a puck goes by.
Like you see the angle here. Like his leg is taking away that bottom part of the net. There's no way for the puck at that spot to beat him to that side.
He did not let up goals like that.
Unless there was something the matter with the net. I always like to say John Leclair blasted it through the net. The theory is there was probably a slice in the bottom mesh.
Probably, but Johnny Vermont.
Yeah, but I like to say he just blasted through the net because he's John Leclair.
John Leclair, Johnny Vermont has one of the all-time Flyer slap shots. If anybody could blast it through the side of the net, it's him. And that's one of my favorite moments because everybody was so confused on the ice. It was awesome.
This was a playoff game. I believe it was I don't think they won this series. I'm not positive. I think Buffalo won this series.
Back and forth with the Sabres that they would do throughout the late 90s, early 2000s.
They played them a lot. I don't remember which series it was. I remember that thing happening. And it was just like the next day I remember watching like Sports Rise or whatever. And it was just Buffalo furious. Like how and I'm sorry, we didn't have the angle. Yeah. Couldn't see it.
Now it would be very easily disputed.
Didn't that a few years ago? Wasn't there a controversial call between the Flyers and Penguins, and the Penguins broadcast didn't give the league the angle that would have overturned the call, and then they got fined?
Was that the Danny Briere offsides?
I think it was after that, because it was like the Penguins screwing the Flyers somehow.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And
no, the Penguins screw the Flyers? Like, no way.
The Penguins get fined over it after the fact, but it's like, well, they won. Like, they'll pay money for a win. You're incentivizing this happening now. But that's, the puck through the net just, it's funny that they couldn't capture it. And it's great that, the guy with the hardest slap shot is the one that did it. Oh. It's very, like, the lure of John Leclair. He once blasted one through the net.
Yes, exactly. Love it. 50 goals a year. What a player. Now, I want to very quickly mention this before we get to the big show. I wanted to also give a shout out to Steve Mason and John Van Beesbrook for giving up two of the worst goals I've ever seen. Everybody knows the Mason one.
Yeah.
The center ice, like, dribbler that he's just like, where's the puck? I don't know. But there's one that Van Beesbrook led up in the late 90s that I almost feel like I have Mandela affected this onto myself at this point. But there was one that I remember this vividly, but I can't find footage anywhere, where a guy shot the puck up from center ice. I think it was against Nashville. Van Beesbrook's looking up at it, and he gets lost in the ice, or gets lost in the lights, and it goes behind his back and falls into the net.
I do feel like I've seen that.
I wish, if anybody has footage on this, please send it to me, because I would love to revisit this, because it's one of the funniest goals I've ever seen.
If anything can beat the licking incident just for stupidest thing ever, it is the legend Chris Falcone.
Yes.
If you're unfamiliar, Chris Falcone is the legendary Philadelphia fan who fought Tie Domi. One of the baddest MFers to ever lace him up, Tie Domi. And
well, he fought a lot, but I still remember when he chickened out and he beat up Adam Burton that game, and he wouldn't fight Craig Berube or Donald Brashear. So he's kind of a chicken for a badass.
Very much will frustrate you by being a rat as well. Like, he was an enforcer, but also like would pick his spots.
Respect for Tie Domi.
He would pick his spots, and it was very frustrating. Like, you can't play this way and then be that way. You have to.
Don't punch a guy being held back by another guy.
Yeah.
That's just coward stuff.
He would do some sucker punching from time to time, but a Flyers fan, this was the best. Tie Domi goes to the box, and he said, I used to play it up more than anywhere in Philadelphia because they just hated me. It was fun. He would always, when he was away, squirt the water bottle into the stands. He did this in the penalty box in Philadelphia once. And Chris Falcone decided he was going to take matters into his own hands. He's yelling at him, leaning over the glass. The glass gives way, and now we are in a fight. Now we have a fight between one of the league's premier enforcers and some drunk slob. I say that in the most endearing way imaginable, because this man is a hero of mine. Maybe not like at this age, because like, I'm a professional and I have a wife who would be upset about it, but I would love the opportunity to do what Chris Falcone did at one point in my life. It is a legendary story that like it will forever live in hockey infamy. And I think Domi's reaction to the incident is the most hockey stuff ever.
I'm watching the video on my laptop right now.
It's so freaking funny.
One of the all-time great moments in, I think, hilarious Flyers history.
Yeah.
I would actually say this might be one of the funniest things to happen on video for the Flyers, because there was a story, I don't remember the details of it, back in the 70s in the Broad Street Bullies era, there was a time when some of the bullies got into a fight with fans in the stands.
I know the Bruins went into the stands at one point. That's where the scene in Slapshot was taken from, I believe.
Right.
All right, before we finish this up, we got to hit overtime. Head to allphly.com if you're part of the TV audience to keep watching the show.
The glass was so much shorter back then. I'm watching the video. These guys are very easily able to get over. Yes.
They are
yes.
right on top. Like, yeah, that's probably the impetus for raising the glass a little bit.
I think so. I think so.
Like, oh, they can reach each other? That's probably a bad thing.
I think if we have learned one lesson today, Bill, it's that the Flyers are trendsetters, okay? Rules happen because of your Philadelphia Flyers.
And Domi's reaction to the incident, just the way it was handled in the aftermath. He says, "How did we solve it? We solved it like two street guys. No lawyers, no nothing. We shook on it. You came with your family to 2 playoff games in Toronto. I put you up here. Everything is good now. I'm really glad it all worked out. And people really have to know the truth about what happened. You're a great guy and a family guy, and I'm happy everything is behind us." They became friends after this.
That's so funny.
Domi flew him out to Toronto, and like they are still in touch to this day, I believe.
My favorite part watching the video is the fact that Falcone jumps over a guy in a white Flyers jersey, the guy who was having the back and forth with Domi and got most of the squirt from the water bottle. He jumps over that guy to go at Tie Domi. It's awesome. Chris Falcone, you're a true hero.
A legend, a Philadelphia legend. All right. That's pretty much all we have for you today. Before we get out of here, I gotta tell you about the road trip, March 17th to the 22nd. We are going to Anaheim. We're gonna go see the Flyers and Ducks. We're gonna go see the Flyers and Kings. We're gonna have a watch party for the San Jose game. And guess who's coming? The man who blasted a puck through the net to beat Dominik Hasek, John Leclair, will be with us. Philly Sports Trips, if you saw the picture of their tailgate yesterday, they throw an amazing party. Philly Sports Trips knows how to do this stuff. It's really great that we're partnered with them. They sent us to Montreal last year. It was an awesome time. This is going to be even better. Go to allphly.com right now and book your trip. Make sure you come on out with us because you're not going to want to miss it. All right, I see we have one super chat right under the wire here from David Shub. Playing an Ozzy tribute Saturday at 8 at Dawson Street Pub. All right, you got your. We gave you your plug. We gave you your plug, David. Thank you for your super chat.
We love
Ozzy. Very much appreciate it. And we have 2 Ozzy enthusiasts here, so that's cool.
Get those likes up.
Let's hit that. Let's get a like. 59
We've been talking
likes.
too much. We haven't been talking to likes.
59 likes, not nearly enough. But that is all the time we have for you today. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't already, you got to hit that subscribe button. Follow us right here on the YouTube page. Make sure you set that reminder bell so you get notifications whenever we go live. Make sure you're following us on all the socials. We're @_Flyers on Twitter, and follow the podcast as well. And maybe give Flyperbole a listen. It's pretty damn good.
Hey.
All right. That's it for us. Happy weekend, everybody. I am Bill Matz. That's Steve Jaco. Till Tuesday, be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.